Welcome back or welcome here for your first time. This is the weekly WeAwake meditation hour, if you will, time. And it's a time where we get together and you see the people you see are part of the iAwake team. And we take one of the tracks that makes up the iAwake Transformational Library, and we meditate together. And we found that it's really good to meditate together. And when you meditate with this technology together, it's even gooder, you might say. So yeah, there does seem to be a field that's created when we meditate together using this technology, and you can really feel it, even though we're all on different parts. I'm dwelling in darkness and Rex is at the beach, so I mean, we're in different places, different spaces, but it still works. So yeah, so let's get rolling. Today we've been working through, for the last number of weeks, we've been working through Profound Meditation Program 3.0, which is like 19 tracks, and one of just the core pieces of our stuff, and a good place to get started developing a practice using this technology on a daily basis. So we're on the last one, I believe I'm right, and this is a gamma hyper gamma. And gamma is a very interesting, very high frequency that has been associated with processing lots of information, cultivation of compassion, and especially the cultivation of spiritual growth, whatever that means. And that means a lot, and I could talk about it for a long time, but I won't. So just take my word for it right now. And so let's get rolling. Yeah, and get set up straight, get your spine straight, sit as if you're a king or a queen or a prince or a princess, and a noble statue in front of a temple. That's always a good way to think about it, and take it from there. Thank you, and welcome back. Yeah, one of the truisms that we developed at Integral Recovery, or when we were developing Integral Recovery, which is an integral approach to treating the disease of alcoholism and addiction, using the framework, the Aqua Map, created by Ken Wilber, and all of us have been working on this thing for years now. And it's a very holistic way of looking at things that includes everything that needs to be considered. But the carrying vehicle of that was integral practice. And that's why kind of the guiding inspiration behind WeAwake Technologies is that we need the tools to practice so that we can work on ourselves to become the best versions of ourselves that we can be. And that needs to include the body, the mind, the emotions, the shadow, and the spiritual practice. And this particular practice of meditation, an interior practice that includes prayer and meditation, and often can be emotional releasing and confronting the shadow aspects of ourselves as they emerge, and as we loosen some of the normal egoic controls we have around our personalities and stuff, that we can see these things that may be causing us issues, and to treat ourselves unwisely and perhaps not be as good to others as we could be, because we're projecting something hidden from us consciously onto others. Anyway, that's a whole nother subject. But what I wanted to say is that one of the metaphors that I have for meditation is, think about if you're a submarine and you have a cyclone approaching, storms, and pretty soon the waves and everything, the winds are 100 miles plus and all this stuff going on. And think of that as a time in your life when things are really chaotic and painful and stressful. Well, what can you do? Well, if you're in a submarine, you can just go down. Go down 100 meters or 200 meters, whatever that level is. And no matter what's happening on the surface, you're down there in a peaceful spot, and there's some currents, but nothing you can't easily deal with if you're a submarine. So that is a good way, I think, to look at meditation. And we need to meditate enough, and especially using this technology. It takes a lot less time than it would meditating traditionally, we get to the place where we begin to sensing the transformation that's going on in our lives. And you can start out 20 minutes or this, but I think an hour is a good amount. However, under special circumstances, when you're going through really stressful times, you've lost a loved one, or one of these life transitions or tragedies that happen in life, if you meditate more, it's better. And in times of greater stress, it's like, oh, there's so much going on, I don't have time to do this. No, quite au contraire. It's a time you need to meditate more and go deeper and stay down there. And normally in my meditation, after about an hour, I really get into that deep zone. I call it the deep side of the pool, and where the mind stills and thoughts become optional. Right? Isn't that nice? You don't have to think. You can think if you want to, but you don't have to. They're kind of there, but okay, thank you. Take a rest, boys. And that time too, that's a time of deep prayer. And what is prayer? Prayer is not just, Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz, but it's connecting with the sacred, the divine, okay? And offering, our hearts and our spirits for healing and for guidance and just for peace. Okay. And this practice can become a refuge. And yesterday I was meditating using tracks called The Refuge. And so I think we need to consider that in our meditation practice. We're not just talking about, something that requires discipline and effort, and, I have to meditate, but as a refuge, a place that we can go every day or when we need to find peace, to be centered, to have our hearts comforted by the divine presence that basically lets us know, incredibly, no matter what's going on the surface, your own life or in our collective existence, that it is really, 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 really deeply okay. And from there, you can emerge and re-engage with the world, and hopefully function in a more compassionate, wiser, and effective way to be a part of the solution and not just another part of the problem. So that's a good reason to practice, so that we can become part of the solution, you know, and from being really part of the problem to being kind of neutral to actually being a positive force. And that's about as much as we can aspire to karmically, I think, as human beings. And it's a noble thing to work on and to become. So I think that's probably enough for today. So anyway, thank you guys, and we love you, and we are all in this together. So let us know how we can, if you have any questions, or we can support you in your journey, and vice versa. Okay, thank you. God bless.